Converging Paths, the common ground between governments and nonprofits. Earlier this week, we started a conversation about some of the significant similarities between government and nonprofit organizations, particularly in the realm of procurement and contract management, where we have the honor of serving both sectors here at Civic Initiatives. This week, we had an article from Civic on how both sectors share a mission-driven focus and have budget constraints and transparency and accountability issues. I also posted yesterday that according to one study from a couple years ago, up to 32% of the funding for the almost 1.5 million nonprofits in the U.S. comes from government grants and government contracts. So here's my take on where the common ground exists. So first, the shared mission and goals. So both government and nonprofit organizations are driven by a fundamental commitment to serve the public good. The mission-driven approach shapes their objectives, operational strategies, and the procurement of the goods and services necessary to achieve those priorities. In a complementary way, government provides broad public services and infrastructure, and nonprofits tend to focus on very specific community needs and very targeted execution on grant opportunities through subawards and recipient oversight. Next, government grants are often empowered through this network of nonprofits. So the National Council on Nonprofits highlighted that governments and nonprofits are natural partners serving the same constituents in the same communities. This partnership is essential in extending the reach and impact of government programs through this diverse network of nonprofits that are already embedded in the communities. Of course, with government funding comes specific regulations on management and use of these funds. The rules and processes that are core for government operations and day-to-day activities of contract managers at federal and state levels naturally flow to the operations of nonprofits that receive these funds, where they may not have a similar level of infrastructure, but they need to operate in a consistent style. So nonprofits must have a strong understanding of how to navigate these regulations effectively and efficiently in order to meet the goals of the programs that were the sources of the funds. Upholding the public trust. Trust, of course, is a critical asset. Maintaining that trust drives transparency and accountability, which are critical components of procurement processes in both sectors. Governments and nonprofits are accountable to their stakeholders and must ensure that the resources are used effectively, ethically, and in alignment with the missions. This includes conducting procurement processes with clear documentation, justifying purchasing decisions, following market research requirements, and adhering to ethical standards, such as avoiding conflict of interest and ensuring fair treatment of vendors. Vendor selection and contract management. The process of selecting vendors or contractors involves careful considerations of factors such as price, quality, risk, and compliance. Both sectors require fair vendor selection and contract management processes to meet their operational needs and ensure the best value for their stakeholders. And if the nature of the grant program involves distribution to subawardees, this involves an additional need to understand processes associated with subawards and ensuring that the federal expectations flow both up and down, which adds a whole additional layer of complexity. Finally, impact management and continuous improvement. Measuring impact and outcomes is a shared responsibility of both governments and nonprofits. Both sectors use metrics and evaluation methods to assess the effectiveness of the program. For nonprofits, their grants often have specific impact requirements related to outcomes and outputs. That is a component of the reporting process back to their government partners. So this focus on measurement and continuous improvement is crucial for the long-term goals of both entities. So we've seen the connection between these sectors firsthand and are excited opportunity to help build bridges for success in both sides. I mentioned in the run-up to this article that I'll be attending the AICPA and CMIA Mission Future Conference, which is focused on nonprofits and operations. We are very fortunate to have several nonprofit clients. So we've been walking the walk and talking the talk on this. And if you are interested in our services there, please let me know. And if you're attending that conference, plan to find me. Hi, it's Dustin Lanier. Thanks for listening. Please find me on LinkedIn for original public sector operations content every week. And please reach out to me if I and my team of procurement professionals at Civic Initiatives can help you be a public procurement change agent.